10 Political Science, Chapter 2, Federalism, Part 2. So in the first video, we saw that the Constitution has given various provisions which make India a federal country. But apart from the constitutional provisions, there are some other ways also in which help to promote federalism. So now let us see these other ways in which federalism is practiced in India. So the first point is creation of linguistic states. So states were created in India on the basis of language such as Maharashtra, Punjab, Tamil Nadu, etc. and on the basis of culture, ethnicity and geography. For example, Nagaland, Uttarakhand and Jharkhand. Initially, the central government resisted to the formation of these lingual states. But after it agreed, we found that lingual states have made our country India more united, and they have also made the administration of the country very easy. So now let us see the language policy of India. So the constitution did not give the status of national language to any language. But Hindi is the official language of India and 40% of Indians speak Hindi. Besides Hindi, 21 other languages were recognized as scheduled languages, and a candidate can opt for any of these languages for an examination conducted by a central government. The states have their own official language, and all the governmental work within the state takes place in that language. For example, if you are staying in the state of Punjab, then the official language used in that state would be Punjabi. But some non-Hindi speaking states did not like Hindi to be the official language. So Hindi was so English was used as a medium of communication between state and central government and between interstate communication. So now let us see the relations between state and central government. Before 1990, the same party ruled both at the center and in most of the states. So even if the ruling party at the state level was different than the central government, then the central government misused constitutional power to dismiss the rival state parties. This undermined the spirit of federalism. So after 1990, no single party got clear majority in Lok Sabha. This period saw the rise of regional political parties and the system of coalition government. This led to a new culture of power sharing and the respect for autonomy of state government. This helped to promote federalism. So till now we have discussed only about the central and state government. But in a large country like India, we need another tier of government, that is the local government. So when power is taken away from the central and state government and given to the local government, it is known as decentralization. So now let us discuss the benefits of decentralization. First, large number of problems and issues can be resolved at the local level. Second, people have better knowledge of problems in their localities, and they also know how to manage things efficiently in their localities. Third, at local level, it is possible for the people to directly participate in decision making. So this helps to promote democracy. Therefore, panchayats in villages and municipalities in urban areas were set up by the government. To strengthen the local government and make decentralization more effective, certain amendments were made in the Constitution of India in 1992. Now let us discuss these amendments. First, it is mandatory to hold regular elections in local government bodies. Second, seats are reserved for scheduled castes, scheduled tribes and other backward classes in the elected bodies. Third, 1/3 of the seats are reserved for women. Fourth, Independent State Election Commission was created in each state to conduct local elections. Fifth, state governments had to share some of their power and revenue with the local government. So the local government is known as Panchayati Raj in rural areas and municipal committees and municipal corporations in urban areas. Now let us discuss the rural local government in detail. So the rural local government consists of Gram Panchayat, Panchayat Samiti and Zilla Parishad. Gram Panchayat. It is at the village level for one village or a group of villages. It is a council consisting of several ward members such as the Panch and Sarpanch. Second, it is directly elected by all the adult population in that village. Third, it is the main decision-making body of the entire village. Now, few Gram Panchayats are grouped together to form Panchayat Samiti, which is at the block level. All the Panchayat Samitis in a district together form Zilla Parishad, which is at the district level. The members of Lok Sabha and MLAs in that district are also the members of Zilla Parishad. So now let us discuss about urban local government in detail. So in towns, it is known by the name of municipal committees and its head is municipal chairman. And in cities, it is known by the name of municipal corporation and its head is mayor. But in recent years, the local government has faced several problems such as the Gram Sabhas are not held regularly. Second, adequate resources are not given to local government. Third, the state government has not transferred significant powers to the local government. But despite these problems, the presence of local government and decentralization of power has helped to strengthen democracy in our country and helped to made our country better. So with this, we come to the end of this chapter. Do subscribe, share and like this video if you like it. Thank you.